How effective is the combination of the main product and auxiliary texts? My main product was complemented very well by both the review and the poster. I started by creating a poster that was relevant to the film. Initially it was hard to think of ideas for this, as the subject matter was difficult to photograph. It also touched on a sensitive issue and I didn't want the poster to offend anyone. At the same time, I also did not want to give much of the film away. Despite all this, I came up with a poster which I think captures people's attention and makes them want to watch the film. Not only is the review giving positive feedback for the film, but also it is persuading people to go and see it. The review reflects the tone of the film's language, promotes it with high ratings, and most importantly does not give too much away. My review was created to replicate the Film 4 website and I think it succeeded very well and looks very good. What have you learned from your audience feedback? When I finished the first draft of my original film, I showed it to a group of 12 people, 6 of which were boys and 6 of which were girls. This helped me to get a wide range of opinions from different people. I gave each person in the audience a questionnaire sheet, which I asked them to look at first, then watch the film. After watching the film, I got them to fill out the questionnaire. I then reviewed all of these questionnaires to see what people had said about my film. By using this method, I received a lot of feedback that was very helpful and made me able to move forward with the film. For example, I learned that people really enjoyed the opening scene with the titles, as they were creative and unique. However, I also learned that people found the middle part of the film a bit boring. There wasn't much going on. Shortly after having sorted out these problems that people did not like in my film, my computer malfunctioned and I had to redo my entire film. This was not all bad though, as it gave me a chance to really take on the audience feedback I gained before and create a film that was more suited to the target audience. After refilming the film again, I created a first draft and got the same people back in with the same questionnaire and asked them to reassess it. This time the results were very good and they said that I had addressed all the issues that had been brought up. In this session, instead of just asking them to fill out the questionnaire, I asked them to sit down and have a discussion with everyone about the film. This made it easier to understand what people were trying to say, and they could elaborate on their points and we could actually get to the bottom of things. This allowed people to expand on other people's points as well that some people hadn't actually thought about. I gained a lot of information on the film this way and went back to create a final edit. I think that this feedback has been very valuable to me and has shown me the flaws in my film and given me ways to correct them. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? Throughout my film I used a massive range of media technologies, both hardware and software. I used many different types in order to create unique and creative aspects to my work. When I filmed my first film, I used the school's mini DV cameras to film, but I found that the quality was very low and gave me a less than professional look to my work. For the retake film I used my own HD SD camera. This camera shoots in high definition and was much better all round. I used it to film my entire film and was very impressed with the outcome. There was, however, some technical glitches with it where the audio quality wasn't too good because of the wind, but it would have been worse on the mini DV camera. Last year I used iMovie HD to edit my film, but I found this software to be very limited and I could not achieve all the effects that I desired. With Final Cut Pro I could use many effects to help the film look how I wanted it to. For example, I used a camera effect at a party to make the film look like it was shot on someone else's camera for fun. I also used an aged film effect to the love montage to give the impression to the audience that what was happening in the sequence was old. Another effect I used was flash transitions where the flashbacks. This helped the audience see that there was a distinct difference between the two scenes and they weren't related. When I first started looking at my titles, I tried the standard ones but they were very boring and not very creative. I decided to design my own ones by using a piece of software called Motion. This allowed me to make titles act like trains. For example, when the train goes past and the titles sweep in with it, and also when they pretend to go along the railways. For my film poster I used two pieces of technology. To take the pictures I used a DSLR camera. This is because I could change the settings on the camera to give me the effect that I wanted. To edit these pictures into a poster I used the software Photoshop. This has allowed me to manipulate the pictures into a poster. Web 2.0 and technologies available to me on that were crucial to the making of my film. For starters, all my coursework is posted on WordPress online. For my blog, I used various pieces of software such as SlideShare and Prezi to display all different types of information. I also had to use YouTube to post my videos and my actual film onto my WordPress page. When I was trying to get feedback for my film, I found social networking sites such as Twitter and Facebook to be very useful. I uploaded my film to them, and in minutes people had watched it and left comments on how I could do even better. To record this evaluation, I am using an external microphone. It is very good quality, and I'm then putting it through GarageBand to edit it. I also use GarageBand in my film to record me playing the piano. This happened at the beginning and both the end of the film. When I finished my film, I used one final piece of software called Compressor, which I used to make the file size slightly smaller, but still good quality. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? My film has an unconventional narrative. It starts at the end, then goes back to the beginning, plays all the way through to the end, but this time shows the full ending. I did this because it keeps the audience guessing the whole way through the film and wondering how the girl got into that position, then all is revealed at the end. In my film I used a few signifiers which are clues as to what might happen in the end. For example, the panning shot to the train track. This gave a hint at the end of the film, but didn't actually show you what was going to happen. I used a lot of conventional shot types in my film. I used various different shots such as close-ups, which I thought were extremely effective when trying to build up the tension in the beginning and the end. I also used many conventional camera movements such as the tilting and panning when the camera moves to look up at the train track and the signifier. I used many conventions typical to the genre, such as direct audience address, where the main character, Sophia, was talking directly into the camera, addressing the audience. Overall, my film sticks very closely to the conventions of the genre and does not stray too far away. The only exception is with the narrative, which I changed to add more mystery to the film.